Hi, I'm music teacher John Holowody. I live in Sacramento, California, and I give online lessons. I've been giving online lessons for quite a while, for a few years now, and I'm looking to get also into teaching group online lessons. And when I first tell people about how I do online lessons and try to get people excited about it, a lot of times they can be kind of a look of like kind of scratching their heads like, is that really that good? Is it really that easy? I don't know how that would work. And so I thought I'd make this video basically showing people exactly how I teach online, how I use different camera angles to create an experience that is hopefully, almost as good or as good as me actually being there with a student. Um, so first I want to start with just this angle. This is what you see as a student of mine when we first start online. You notice that I've just got my webcam up on my monitor. If I want to show a student more of the keys, I can turn this down like that. But most of the time this is the angle that I use, especially if I'm trying to talk to a student. This is helpful too if I'm trying to show a student how they should sit at a piano. Say, for example, if they're a new student, you gotta lift your wrist, curve your fingers, have the right distance from the piano, and all that stuff. But there's also another camera angle that I use to help show exactly what a student should play, and I'm going to go to it right now. So this is the camera angle that I use when I'm trying to show someone sort of how to play a piece or where they should put their hands or something like that. Notice that it is not the full range of a piano. If I wanted that, I could just kind of take the camera and lift it higher and show that. But for most students, this serves the purposes that are needed. It's kind of close that they can see what's going on. Beginner students start right here. Then they move on to kind of having a hand position more like that. Then they move on to maybe having a hand position more like this or like this. And that's like especially in the Piano Adventure series, which I use with a lot of my students, that's like the first 5 books right there. So this range, and even if you ask, professional musicians, who play much harder pieces, this is 90% of the time you're in this range. And so I can show students a lot with just this. When I'm teaching ukulele or guitar, which are a couple other instruments I also teach, it's even simpler. It's really just this. I'm in front of the camera, my student is in front of the camera, and then if I need them to see something more closely, I can just take the instrument, move it closer. I can show them what to do. It's very straightforward. There's not really much more beyond that when I'm teaching guitar or ukulele. Now the internet has a whole wealth of free sheet music. Or fantastic sheet music that you can buy online and then just print at home. And so I take advantage of that a lot. A few websites that I really love are ultimateguitar.com, I love musicnotes.com, and also freescores.com, where you can find all sorts of classical music for free. All these resources I use to kind of bring in and help a student find what they're looking for, and sort of to tailor the teaching experience to them. So you might be thinking, well, okay, that's great for the teacher. I have this room with all this whole setup that makes it easy for me to teach, but how hard is it on the student's end to sort of set up a camera and get things ready? And the truth is, it's not that complicated. I've had different students do different things. Some have done something as simple as taking their phone and sticking it right here, so that at least I can see their hand positions. That's not ideal, but it's definitely doable, and I have done it with students. You might think, well, how can I know what they're playing if I can barely see what their hands are doing on the piano? But it's, especially for simpler songs, I've played piano long enough and I've taught piano long enough that certainly if I have the music in front of me, if a student makes a mistake, I know the kind of mistake that they're making, simply because I played for so many years. But again, that's not the ideal, and most students actually have something maybe like a laptop that they'll use. This is my Chromebook, and they might set it up on a table or some stand close to them and simply angle angle the camera down a bit to be able to get a view of themselves or of the piano as well. Honestly, that's all I need to see. There isn't much more beyond that. They don't need a camera like this that I have here to show me the keyboard or anything. That's all they need to have. And again, for ukulele or for guitar, they just need to angle the camera towards themselves, and we're good to go. So I hope that gives you an idea of how it would be if you were having online lessons with me. Maybe this video totally turns you off to the idea of online lessons. That's perfectly fine. That's great. I just hope that brought some clarity. But hopefully for some of you, it helps you see kind of how fun and easy this can really be. And so if you are interested, please contact me. You can get a hold of me on my website at mtjstudio.wordpress.com. And go to the contacts page there and shoot me an email, and hopefully we can start some lessons.